Is it on? So guys, I thought I'd sit down and work through what we've spent on the bike to get it up to the MOT. There's that page and that page, and what I've split it down to is parts, tools I needed that I didn't have just to make a job easier, or stuff I hadn't got, and then sundries like small bolts, oil, grease, stuff like that. My uncle's in his shed next door making a racket. So right, the total, do you want to take a guess at the total parts? Because it surprised me when I added it up, because obviously there's a little bit, you know, this week, a little bit next week, and all that lot, and it builds up. So this has took, it's unbelievable, I think 7 months. I think Craig delivered it, I think towards the end of September, when we finally got time to do it. And then I gave it a look over and started ordering bits I knew I needed. Nutcase, absolute nutcase. So this is just a rough parts list of what I've bought. Wouldn't be my video without a bottom burp. Right, brake and clutch diaphragms on the master cylinders, they were replaced due to swelling. I won't give the prices yet, I'll just give the total at the end. New screws for the master cylinders, because as you all know they're made of cheese. That was genuine Kawasaki from Wimoto. Brilliant firm, they've kept my stuff going for years and years, so big shout out to Wimoto as well. Clutch cover gasket and service kit, including a sump plug washer, oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, new fuel pipe. That all came from Wimoto. Kawasaki again. There was an oil filter washer missing. When I dropped the old filter, there was actually a washer missing out the housing. So I thought I didn't have one that fit, so I got a new one of those. Kawasaki again, the proper rubber fairing grommets, the ones on the sides and on the belly pan that the fitting fits in. Didn't have any of those, so 4 of those. Wimoto again, I bought a clutch cylinder rebuild kit, which turned out, I don't know whether the master cylinder I bought was faulty or what, but it turned out it didn't work that well. But it might not be what they sell, because I've had rebuild kits from them before and they've been perfect, but there's no, there could be a defect with the second-hand master cylinder that I bought, is what I'm saying. eBay clutch plates, we'll see how long they last, because they were only 25 quid. So we'll see. It feels alright when it's riding, but hey, even if, you know, I get a year or two out of them, it's only 25 quid, and by that time, you know, you're dropping oil and stuff like that anyway. The case, side case has got to come off and have the starter chain tensioner mod done to it. But we've actually managed to get a holiday booked this year. We're managing to get back up to Scotland, so I'm going to go on holiday first before I spend any big money on the bike, because the money just ain't going to be there. The next thing I'm going to order for the bike is float bolt seals, but I'm going to get genuine Kawasaki so they fit. I've cross-referenced the carburetors. Interestingly, this bike was UK registered in 2003, which suggests it's an import, but the frame is a UK frame. So what I'm possibly thinking, it also had kilometre clocks, and I've changed it to mile an hour clocks, but what I'm possibly thinking is it may have even gone to Ireland as a brand new bike, which would explain UK frame. I don't know whether Southern Ireland did have different frame numbers to mainland UK, but the frame number tallies up with the mainland UK. Is there a possibility it could be an Irish bike? I don't know. or a serviceman could have bought it and bought it back with him, you know, who knows. It doesn't bother me, so I'm not going to dig into it. Right, so clutch cylinder rebuild. Right, eBay clutch £25. Oh yeah, second-hand clutch master cylinder, because the old one was absolutely toast. It was proper toast, couldn't even get the pivot bolts out, and we soaked it in diesel for a couple of weeks. We got heat on it, we got freeze spray on it. The lot doesn't move, doesn't even move with an attachment you can put on an air chisel to get something going, and then the musty one uses one, you've seen him use it, and then you've got a thing that turns the screw as well. That never even touched it, so we scrapped that master cylinder. So there's no telling that the master cylinder I bought here was no good. I've since gone on and bought a ZR 1200 one which works perfectly, but there you go. So right, seat and fairing bolts, these were missing, so I've replaced those. The seat bolts, there's one like that and one like that. They were nowhere near, so we got those. Fuel tap refurb kit, because the fuel petcock was weeping fuel a little bit, and I tried tightening it up and it didn't do it. I stripped it, cleaned it, still leaked, so refurb kit. That was Wemoto as well. I don't know how to pronounce that, Wemoto or Wemoto. It's World's End Motorcycles. They've been going donkey's years. Started supplying dispatch riders. Kawasaki radiator temperature sensor, brand new, and I've yet to fit it. It's actually down here because this old one seems to work, but I think I just had a faulty gauge pack on the old clocks, because nothing seems to work on them. That was 40 quid, just over, with delivery. All prices I'm quoting are with the delivery as well. So I've yet to fit that, but that was genuine Kawasaki. eBay, I managed to get a brake disc for the rear, because the original was cracked, so I managed to get that for 30 quid. So I'm quite happy with that, because something like an EBC replacement is something like 130, something like that. So you know, this is a furlough project, the money's not there to do it, but I wanted it rideable. So you know, sometimes cheapest option, and it will backfire on me, I guarantee it. But this is what we call a socially distant restoration, meaning it looks alright from 300 yards away. But eBay again, thermostat housing, because I broke the original trying to undo the bolts. It's only plastic, so got one of those, but that came from Germany. I had to pay 43 quid for that, and you can't get them from Kawasaki anymore, I think I'm correct in saying. Right, eBay again, swing arm cover caps, these, because one was missing, and one's still missing because they're here. That's just to finish it off. I mean, you can ride around without them. Right, so what else have we got? Oh yeah, eBay again, rear brake caliper rebuild kit. That fit well. Sometimes when I buy off eBay, I tend to sometimes just accidentally come across actually proper motorbike shops on there as well, and shops that even do their own mail order separately, like M&P, places like that. That might have been an M&P kit. That fit really well, and it's working really well. Right, eBay as well, radiator fan switch, big switch on the side of the radiator. I paid 15 quid for that. I think the original Kawasaki one is something like 60. Again, that's going to bite me in the arse, because when I plugged it in, it was a permanently closed circuit. The fan would not shut off. So what I've actually done, I've ended up putting in a manual fan switch, which I did with my GP Z900, because they were known to run hot. So if you ever do get, you know, stuck in traffic or anything like that, you've got the option of putting the fan on yourself, and I love that. Right, this is the other half. Right, eBay again, exhaust wadding. Obviously not needed for the MOT. We only did the exhaust the other day to change the wadding. I wanted to change the wadding, don't know how old it was, so £8.50, that's coming from M&P, but from eBay. I managed to bag a genuine toolkit for it. Again, not needed for the MOT, but I managed to get that 30 quid. Not vital, but it's nice to have it. I like to have some tools on the bike when I go out, and otherwise I've got to take from my toolkit to make one up for the bike, and then I'm lacking when I get back, sort of thing. Again, that's not needed for the MOT, obviously. Right, ZX10 master cylinder, 30 quid. I know I said I weren't going to mention the prices, but as usual I've backpedaled. A micro switch, front micro switch for the brake. I fitted it, it was only £2.50. Fitted it, works perfectly. I took the old one off, squirted some WD-40 in it, and it works. But I've got a spare. Right, fairing infill. That's that bit hanging up over there, but it's this bit that wraps around the front of the tank and then goes forward into the fairing, and it's got the fairing pocket and the thermostat decorative cover and stuff like that. I actually wanted the decorative cover for the thermostat, but you can't get them for love nor money. If somebody's got a 3D printer, they'd make a killing making some of those. In fact, if I knew anybody with a 3D printer, I'd get some done and we'll do a little run of them, because there must be loads missing. Right, exhaust. You saw the state of the original. It wasn't going to be the world's easiest repair, and even half systems, genuine half systems on eBay, some of them were 300 odd quid, you know, which means you're still paying £600 for a full system. That just wasn't possible, just the money isn't there. But I found a 4-into-1, and it actually came from if anybody can remember the old DK Superbikes at Newcastle-under-Lyme near Stoke-on-Trent. Used to go there most weekends for a ride out. It was a brilliant shop, absolutely brilliant. Well, they're now mainly sort of a parts specialist, a breakerage. So they sold that, and I didn't know it was a Vance and Hines until it turns up, and it's a bit fruity but lovely. So that was delivered 140, because I made an offer on it, and I got it for that. But it's all right. My MOT tester didn't mind it. It is the opinion of the tester at the end of the day. Right, and there's other stuff. Oh, side panels. I managed to get some side panels from Germany, which the ones I'm not using are now decorating the shed wall. But £26 for a pair. I mean, one of them was a glass fibre replica, but I think it's German, or it's European at least. It's not British. It's not built well enough to be British. So I'm happy with that, more than happy with that. Right, rear brake master cylinder kit. I think that was an M&P. That's in, that worked well. Their tools. Amazon, because I use all sorts. So Amazon, what have we got? Any parts? Got fairing bolts. Oh yeah, starter solenoid I got from Amazon, and that was only 15 quid, and that works all right. Although the first time I took it out for fuel, when I turned the bike off, it stuck on, but a quick tap of the side panel, it stopped, and it's never done it again since. So for 15 quid, come on, I'm happy. Right, no, oh yeah, manual fan switch, 8 quid, and I've just put it, I just hide it in the little fairing pocket for now, because I've used those solder connectors to attach it, so it just sits in the fairing pocket, and then I can just grab it as and when. Right, no, because that's stuff like car cleaner. Alright, exhaust gaskets, Wimoto again. 10 quid for 4. Thermostat, I'm pretty sure I ordered that from Kawasaki, but according to this I actually ordered it from Wimoto, and it is a genuine Kawasaki thermostat. Obviously works perfectly, fits straight in because it's going to, and it does work. I ran the bike up to temperature with the coolant cap off, and you can actually see the flow coming through when it opens, so that works. And I've got a pair of throttle cables which I've yet to fit, and they were like 28 quid. Slinky Glide, absolutely brilliant. So I've got the push and the pull, because it's a twin cable setup on here. So what do you think? In parts, because it really did surprise me. Should put you out your misery. Parts alone so far, because this really is the beginning. And I know what I paid for the bike, and Craig knows what I paid for the bike. £683.41. Doesn't sound so bad if you say it quickly, but some people can almost pay that a year for their insurance, you know, which is just how it is. You know, some people would probably pay that on a service on a high-end bike with tyres, if they had to have tyres at the same time. It can ramp it up, especially if it's you know, you need valve shims and stuff like that. I can remember deliberately avoiding like 4-cylinder Yamahas for years, because if they ever needed an exhaust shim, at the time I think they were £30 each, and you know, if you're on an apprentice wage or something like that, that's a no-no. If you need 2 or 3 shims, you've doubled the price of your service almost, you know, almost. So yeah, so 683.41 so far. The original Kawasaki float bowl gaskets are about a tenner each. I was really surprised, because they used to be, I asked my MOT guy, who is a Kawasaki man, and he said don't be surprised if they're not 40 quid each. But I looked, and I'm sure they were under a tenner each. I was amazed. I bought 3 sets of float bowl gaskets, none of which fitted correctly, so the lesson should have been learned already. For what I've paid for those 3 sets, I could have bought the genuine Kawasaki set, which was too expensive at the time, and had change, but hindsight. But I will get the genuine Kawasaki ones. I did put some pictures up on some of the ZX sites on Facebook the other day, and people are saying, why are you blaming these seals for failing? Because when there's shit and RTV and everything all over them. They didn't understand the full story. I didn't word it very well. But those seals have failed already. They've already leaked past. The RTV I used was Permatex, and it specifically said on it it's good for fuel systems, fuel injectors, oil pans and all that lot, but it went to jelly, and that's been getting in the jets and blocking the jets, which is why I took the carbs off. I also wanted to double check the pilot screw settings, because 2 types of carburettor were fitted to the ZX10. There was I think it's called a CVK, they're both, however you pronounce it, Kaheen. I'm no doubt saying that wrong, but they were they're both 36, I think 36mm, and CVKs were fitted to the B1s, and the B2s and any after had CVKDs. I don't know what the difference is, but they did have different jet sizes, etc. Turns out this has got the correct jet sizes and what have you. So I'm happy. I've just got to clean it out. Right, tools. I did have to buy some tools to do it, mainly because I either didn't have it or the one I had wasn't suitable, and I'm a bloke and I don't need excuses to buy new tools. So tools, 124 quid, which, you know, I could have borrowed off friends, because I've got friends that have got practically every motorbike tool going, but no, it's not fair on them, and if I've got them, I've got them. But like an example, let's see if I can find an example, which I don't think I can, to be quite honest. No, it's general stuff. It's like Allen keys, and there was I bought a brake bleeding kit and all this lot, because I didn't know the old Master Cylinder was at fault. So I ended up buying a brake vacuum pump and all this lot. But it's only stuff like that. There's nothing really super special. Helicoil I've actually put down as a tool, because I suppose it is. So you could argue that that's not sort of an accurate reflection, but it will do. Sundries, £219.69. Sundries I've included in that all the bolts I've bought, the greases, the service oils, you know, just stuff like that, stuff that would appear as a sundry on a dealer bill, which generally means a washer, a bolt, spot of oil, a little lick of grease, something like that. So that, you know, that was 219 quid, because some of them bolts are quite, and others are very, very reasonable. So that's where that was. Oh yeah, I bought a tap and die set and stuff like that. Sidetrack and a grease gun to do the suspension. So I've got one, so I don't have to strip it down again to grease it, because these quackers are fitted with grease nipples. Nipples. So the MOT 29 quid. So the total from September to today is £1,056.87p. Obviously that's going to go up because it still needs a couple of bits. I want to get the carb sorted. I've got to look at the choke bar, because I think the choke is sticking, because I think the bar's bent ever so slightly, so we're going to straighten that out. We're going to sort the carbs out so we never have to go anywhere near them again. We're going to flush the fuel tank out again. I thought I'd done it. Well, I had done it. I've done it with evapor rust, I've done it with solvents, stuff like that. But then I don't know how good the seal is on the fuel cap, because I've never washed it. no change there. But I didn't know how good it were, and I did wash it before the MOT. And when I drained those float bowls, I've got a little video of me draining them. A little bit of silt and water were present, but I don't know whether I've not introduced that. But since the last time I put fuel in it, it's probably been sat 3 months, possibly. And you know, it's going through the temperature cycles of the shed and the winter and all that lot. There's every chance condensation got in the tank, and you know, by me adding fresh fuel, I've washed the condensation into the fuel. There's every chance that's me, it's not the bike. And I don't, like I say, I don't know how good the seal is on the tank, so I may have well introduced water when I washed it, who knows. So that is the running total so far, and I'm really happy with it so far, because if you knew what I bought the bike for, you know I'm still quids in. I mean, some of these bikes, I would say the average price for a tidy one would be a genuine 2.5 grand. There is one in a dealer at the moment, which is a German import, same colour as this one, and I think it's got 42,000 miles or kilometres on it, whatever. He wants nearly 6 grand for that. He's never going to get it. Never going to get it. Because even if you bought one for the same price as I bought this and totally restored it and did the majority of work yourself, probably had the paintwork done by somebody else, but did the majority of it yourself, you're still going to come in at well under 6 grand. I mean, I've just replaced stuff on here as a matter of my own safety and interest more than it had to be done. Because, you know, so I could have probably cut the parts bill down, but I'm happy with what I've spent so far, because it's been a drip feed. It's not like, oh god, it's going to cost me £300 this week and it's going to cost, you know, whatever. I have kept it affordable because obviously I've been on furlough, so it had to be done like that. If I was earning my normal wage and stuff like that, would I have spent any more? No, probably not, because we each have our own way of doing stuff. There's guys that would take that bike off my hands and they'd probably quite happily spend 5 grand doing it up as a project and have it looking showroom again. I've got nothing against that. If that's, I love to see the results, but this bike is 30 years old and I quite like it looking 30 years old. I like things to tell a story. Every scratch on it tells a story. Every little scrape in the alley tells a story. You know, the patina on it, it's earned it. It's not been put on by a bit of sandpaper, flash rusting it and then clear coating it. It's genuine. But you know, your bike, do it how you want. So that's all for now, guys. That's a little quick update on the ZX and what it's cost so far. Next video, which I'm currently editing, is Carl playing with a big black shaft underneath a Land Rover. So anyway guys, that will drop tomorrow, Saturday. So thanks for watching guys, really appreciate it as usual. Stay safe and well, we'll see you again soon. Ta-da, bye bye.